Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day one of day 100 of using Autodesk Fusion 360. So the point of this is that I have to become used to using Autodesk here future for my classroom. So what better way to do that than to document my experience of transitioning from Inventor to Fusion, and on top of that, hopefully with this documentation you can follow me along the way. I will have just one little tidbit to add as each day goes on, and so you're welcome to knock down as much as possible or skip down to the middle and kind of play around with it as you want. This will all be up on a Google site where you can scroll down and see things easily rather than just looking at a playlist on YouTube and kind of easily getting lost on there. So feel free to reach out. You can reach out with either Twitter or Instagram. Either one works just as fine. But anyways, let's get rolling. So the first piece that I'm going to be working on here is just how to extrude in Fusion. So I've got a circular peg here with a square insert on bottom and then just a square tooth right out on top. I'm going to go ahead and save this project, and then we're going to let's call this 01 and then just simple shape extrusions. On top of this, so I'm going to go ahead and start a new design. We're going to create essentially the same thing. And so when you open up the Fusion package, there's a lot of different bells and whistles. We're going to focus on just one, what you can do with it, and then we're going from the next steps from there. You're welcome to, I actually highly encourage, just click on the buttons and see what you got going on and see as you may. But I want to keep this very specific and very guided on what we're doing today. So under design, we're going to create a sketch. You'll find that this three-dimensional plane will pop up. For now, it really doesn't matter which plane we start our sketch on. So I'm just going to go ahead and just click one. And then I'm going to make my first solid. So in order to make your first solid, you're going to notice up here, let me see if I can find this. So up here on the top left, we have solids. And the cool thing about when you're using solids, you can do lines. There's some interesting features there with lines. You can do squares, you can do circles, or some sort of curved shape if you're following an image, or so on and so forth. We're just going to play with squares right now. Over here on the right side, you should have this pop-up window. There's a couple different rectangles that you are able to use. One of those being you can just pick the two corners of your rectangle. Now this one can be helpful from time to time, but what I actually recommend to use is, I'm going to go back to square, rectangle, click the center of rectangle because this allows me to fix my rectangle to the origin plane. Now for reasons we don't quite get into this video about how helpful that is, I personally tend to use that a little bit more because it automatically adds a lot of geometric constraints. Alright, now on top of that, I just made my rectangle, but let's dimension it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit some shortcut keys every once in a while. So I'm going to hit the D key on my keyboard. And this allows me to dimension my rectangle. And I can dimension it to 50 millimeters, or if you're doing in inches, you actually could just type in 50 inches as well. And it will automatically adjust it to scale. So let's just go ahead and keep that at 50. And then on top of that, let's go ahead and dimension the side piece as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish sketch. And then let's extrude this. Now your extrusion panel, you'll see this little arrow pop up. You're welcome to drag this arrow around either way you go. But I'm going to pop open my extrusion panel. Over here on the right side, your panel pop up. You're welcome to drag it wherever you want. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the types of extrusions that you can do. So you can do a one-sided extrusion where our extrusion goes from one side of the sketch up or one side of the sketch down. You could do a two-sided extrusion where you could have your extrusion go different distances for different lengths. That's totally fine. or you can do a symmetric extrusion. Now, for the sake of what we don't get to in the long, I'd recommend just go ahead and start using that symmetric one, because that keeps your work planes. You see my sketches in the middle. For reasons we don't get into in this video, I imagine that's going to be helpful later on. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just make this a 20 millimeter thickness from the center, and there we go. Alrighty, next piece I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new sketch. So over in the top left, I'm going to start a new sketch and just click on the face that I want to work on. And so now I'm on the face of that cube. And then let's go ahead and look at what we have going on here. Now, if you notice, I'm rotating this thing pretty freely. On the keyboard, how am I doing that? I'm holding down the Shift key and the mouse wheel. And you'll notice that your cursor turns into a orb, so it allows you to rotate your part as you want. And so with that, I can rotate it however I want. Now, sometimes this can get a little hard to get used to. So if you totally get lost and you don't know how to fix your piece, and say I'm way over here and I keep trying to fix it, and up here on the top right, you'll notice you have an orientation. You can go ahead and just click on that and click on the home button, and it will just take you all the way back to your original piece. The home is defined as an isometric view very specifically, and so if you ever get lost, just click on that view cube, and up in the home button, it'll take you right on home. Alrighty, so I'm going to go back to my top, and then we're going to put, let's put a round peg in here. So you're going to notice after a while, I'm actually going to stop clicking on these buttons up here, and I'm just going to use the keyboard. So I'm going to click diameter of my circle, so I'm just going to hit the C key, and this allows me to make my circle. Now, when you just throw a shape in there, it needs to have a dimension. It has a dimension in there, but it's not defined. It's a loose definition. So if you notice that some of your shapes are different colors, so you see right now it's a lighter blue color. It is an undimensioned shape. Now I'm going to hit the D key and go ahead and dimension it. And if it wants to be 40, cool. I'm just going to make it 35 millimeters. Click Finish Sketch. So you can click Finish Sketch up here with the check mark, or down here. I'm going to just go ahead and click up there. And then I believe I'm ready to extrude. So if you notice, when you click on the extrusion button, that you can highlight which face you want to extrude. And so on my geometry right here, I can extrude this outside piece, or I could extrude this inside piece. Either one is kind of up to you as far as based on what you're looking for, but you can. I'm specifically going to make this circular peg, so I'm going to click on the inside, and then I'm going to drag that up to where I want it to be. 20 millimeters looks fine. Alrighty, so now I've got my piece. Let's look at the bottom side. So getting used to that rotating around, I'm going to hold Shift and the mouse wheel allows me to rotate my piece downwards. I'm going to click on New Sketch, and I'm going to click on the bottom of my cube. Hit the C key to allow me to make a circle, and I'm going to make a circle that is hopefully going to be the same dimensions as my circle above. But I went ahead and forgot that, so let's go ahead and see what we have here. So I'm going to hit the M key, and actually I'm going to finish that sketch. M key allows me to measure. Should be, at least anyways. There we go. 17.5 is going to be a radius, so my diameter is, that's going to be 35. So I'm going to go back to my sketch. Sketch 3, and here we go. Now on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and dimension this sketch now to be 35 millimeters. Click Finish Sketch, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude. Now the type of extrusion I'm going to do here is going to be something different than I've done on the other ones. I'm going to click down here on operation, and then I'm going to add to cut. And then I'm going to cut inwards to 20 millimeters. Click OK, and then I am done. If we noticed on that piece earlier, it was a different material than what we had here. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to make this to be a different material. So I'm going to highlight just my whole area, right click, and click physical material. Now, depending on if you've played around this material library or not, this might look a little bit different. But I'm just going to go ahead and minimize all my folders. You can basically click on whatever you're looking for here, and I really like the way that some of these wood textures look. So I'm going to find one I like. I'm going to hold and drag it over, and boom, there we go. We now have a pine piece of, I would call this just a simple extrusion block, and then we're good to go. Alright, before we wrap this video up, let's look at a couple of things that we have going on here. Off on the left side, so in here in this model panel right here, it's called your browser ribbon. It's going to have a couple of things in here that might be helpful for you to organize and understand what's going on here. So in my origin files, we might need to use these planes later on, but that's my X and Y, Z planes based on my part. We have the bodies that we've made, and then we have my sketches. Now this might be the most helpful thing for you to use when you're making a part, as far as like, oh, where was that sketch at? If you highlight over it, it will show you where that sketch is at. And if you want to, temporarily, you can view the sketch by clicking on this eye icon, and it'll allow you to see what's going on here. Alrighty. Cool, guys. We made our first piece. Good luck. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message, email, Instagram, or however you so well please. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.